or going about propagating that peace of mind is the ultimate goal of your life. I want to ask you, tonight if you want to enjoy your dinner, even if you're not ecstatic, at least you must be peaceful and joyful, isn't it? Hello? Whenever I need, I'll seek a higher opinion. If you want to enjoy this handful of people who are around you in the form of family or work or whatever, at least you must be peaceful and joyful, isn't it? If you want to enjoy a walk on the street, you must be peaceful and joyful. So I'm asking you, to be peaceful, to be joyful, is it the ultimate goal of your life or is it the most fundamental requirement? But a whole lot of people are saying it is the ultimate goal of your life. Such people will only rest in peace. Is there anybody here who's not known a single moment of joy in your life? Now you cannot be here because if there was not a single moment of joy in your life, you wouldn't be alive right now. You would have found no reason to be alive. There are moments of joy. That means you know how to be joyful. If you were given a choice between being joyful and miserable for yourself, what you want for your neighbor may be debatable. But for yourself, if you have a choice between being joyful and miserable, what is your choice? Make a choice, I'm going to bless you. Joyful and miserable, what's the choice? Joy. So you want to be joyful, you know how to be joyful. But, see, if you know how to be joyful and you want to be joyful, why do you need a yogi to guide you? Yes, I want to be joyful, but to kick that butt, you need a yogi. There is nobody who does not want to be joyful. There is nobody who does not know how to be joyful. But, shall we kick that butt? One butt means we could kick it off. There are too many butts. If I have to be joyful, my wife should become like this, my husband should become like this, the world has to change, and we must have a new president. Endless amount of buts. Being joyful is not the goal, it is the basic requirement. Today there is substantial medical and scientific data to show you that only when you're pleasant within yourself will your body and brain work at its best. You know this by experience, isn't it? Yes? You know this by experience, but you don't trust your experience anymore, you need data. There is substantial data, you can check it out, that if you are really pleasant within yourself, your body and your brain works at its best. There are some studies which show that for 24 hours, that is one full day, if you spend one full day without a moment of irritation, agitation, anger, anxiety, nothing, just joyful, your ability to use your intelligence may go up by 100%. You could do with that, isn't it? Hello? Can't all of us do with little more? Little more sensiness, can't all of us do with it? Can't the world do with it, I'm asking you? But the problem is, most of the time human beings are going through circus within their own mind. When I first arrived in United States a few years ago, Wherever I went, people were talking about stress management. I could not understand why would anybody want to manage stress. Because in my understanding, we manage things which are precious to us. Our family, our business, our wealth, our money, whatever is precious to us. Why would anybody want to manage stress? It took me a while to grasp that people have assumed that stress is a part of their life. Stress is not a part of your life, it's your inability to manage your own mind. It amazes me, people live here for 20, 30, 60 years and they still don't know how to manage their thought and emotion. This is like, you heard of Charles Darwin? Hello? In Illinois, you have no issues with him? I'm asking you, we are from Tennessee, so I'm asking you. We got some problems with him. I'll make this very simplistic. Charles Darwin said something like this, a deer could have become a giraffe over many million years. A pig could have become an elephant over many more million years. And a monkey became human rather quickly. So quickly that anthropologists think that there is a missing link somewhere. No, I'm sorry, you're on the second stage, I thought you were on the trees. I'm just being nasty. They're saying that the DNA difference between you and a chimpanzee is only 1.23%. 1.23% is not much of a difference, isn't it? Yes, physiologically, that is how close we are to a chimpanzee, just 1.23%. But in terms of our intelligence and awareness, we are worlds apart from a chimpanzee. And this is our problem, this is an evolutionary problem, that you have an intelligence for which you don't have a stable enough base. So your own intelligence freaks you all the time. To be peaceful has become such a big challenge. Essentially, you don't know how to handle your cerebral capability. Yes? See, please see, what is it that you're suffering? If you're suffering something, what is it that you suffer? What happened 10 years ago, you still suffer. What may happen day after tomorrow, you already suffer. Yes. What you are suffering is a phenomenal capability of memory and imagination. This is what you're suffering. Or in other words, you're suffering that which does not exist. If one is suffering that which does not exist, I will not label you, but you can ask any medical professional, they will say you are a case. Yes or no? If you suffer something that's not here, that means you're a case, yes? And please see, most of the time that's all it is. Yes? The only and only misery in human life is not happening the way you think it should happen. And what you think, is it straight? Every day it's hopping from one thing to another. If everything that you thought happened, you would be in a total mess. Fortunately, many things have not happened. From morning to evening, whatever comes to your mind, if all of it happens in your life, could you live here? Are you not glad it's not happening? Now the problem is, you are inventing ghosts in your mind and then trying to fight it. And of course, a whole industry has come up, professional ghostbusters. This happened. An Indian man came to California many years ago. Of course, he came as a technology person. Then he started dabbling with some investments and then he started playing the stock market. Somewhere 97 or 98, he had a windfall. He made a huge amount of money. He was already over 60 years of age. Just a year or two ago, at the right time, he had gotten his divorce. He was alone, over 60 years of age and a huge amount of money. He wanted to spend as much money upon himself as he could. So he bought himself a 1932 Ferrari for $36 million. He bought a Beverly Hills home for $80 million. Like this, he went about splurging upon himself. Then he needed a medical test. So in Northern California, there are medical institutions which are swankier than seven-star hotels. So he got himself into that. This is not some dreary medical test in one day. One full fortnight, resort-like atmosphere, where at your own pace, you can choose your tests and go through. So everything was fine, they appointed a very pretty-looking young woman as his nurse, he was enjoying the whole experience of it. On the fourth day evening, he was feeling so relaxed, he was lying on the bed. Unfortunately, what should happen in the toilet happened on the bed. He felt very embarrassed, he didn't know how to handle this mess. He was just looking at this, how to deal with this mess on the bed. Just then he heard this young lady coming towards his room. Fortunately in America, young ladies don't walk quietly, they come talk, 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 talk. This is a man's design. So he did not want this young lady to see the mess on the bed. So he didn't know what to do, there was no time, so he just picked up all the sheets and threw it out of the fifth floor window. Down below, a regular man was just going home from a party. It's such an unfair world. A man is expected to walk on a round planet and the damn thing is spinning all the time. With great difficulty, he was walking sideways and going home. You know what I'm talking about. He was slowly reaching towards his home sideways. Just then the sheets came and covered him. And he screamed and yelled and fought with the sheets violently. It took him over 2 minutes to get the sheets down. By then the security heard all this commotion and they came rushing. He was standing there dazed, looking down at the sheets on the sidewalk. They asked, "What happened here?" He said, "It looks like I've beaten the shit out of a ghost." Now, you invent your own ghost and you fight it. What's happening in your mind is your business, yes or no? Hello? But right now, most minds, 90% of the minds on the planet are in a state of mental diarrhea. Simply it's going. See, right now, my hand